sold by their family members or acquaintances, or lured with false promises. They are then held in slave-like conditions, abused, and cut off from their contacts. Report it today and every day.
A message for Blaze FM.
You can give a gift of freedom to children around the world by putting stop to child abuse and trafficking.
A message from Blaze FM 90.7.
Human trafficking is a crime against humanity. Stop it now.
A message from Blaze FM 90.7. Be a non-violent citizen. Kindly work with the police and avoid mob justice.
A message for Blaze FM.
Nothing can bring you peace but yourself. So, always love yourself the most and don't do drugs.
A message from Blaze FM.
Hello, I'm Sekou K. Kamo, a patriot of the motherland, Mama Liberia. I will be speaking to the consciousness of my fellow youths on the topic patriotism. The progress of our nation rests upon the shoulders of every youth. What is your intention to this nation? Are you willing to serve the motherland with integrity and dignity? Or are you interested in inflating the maximum exploitation for one own selfish gain? Look, fellow youths, there should be no boundaries in actualizing the highest law for our country once we are called to service. The biggest problem facing our country is not the lack of good laws. It is not the lack of resources, not the lack of educated men or women, but the lack of law for country. I want you to know this, fellow compatriots. Where there is no love, there is lack of progress. The motherland depends not on herself, but you and I to make it a better place for generations to come. Everyone has a role in this process, ranging from the common man to the nobleman. It is time we examine ourselves. It is time we put our country first above everything else. Other nations are moving forward, but as one of the oldest independent nations in Africa, where is our achievement? We help in the elaboration process of other nations. These nations are moving forward, while our nation is stagnated from all expressions of reality. Or because patriotism has been neglected at the highest goal in our society. Liberia is a blessed nation, given to us by God. But we will not realize these blessings if we do not cherish this nation. Fellow youth, it is time to change the course of history. You have the power, and that power is your choice. To choose if you will be loyal to this country through your services. Never give up on the motherland. I believe Liberia will someday rise above nations. The only road to this revelation is love. Love is all Liberia needs from us, and it will start to flourish. Hello, I'm Sekou K. Kamo, a patriot of the motherland, Mama Liberia. I will be speaking to the consciousness of my fellow youths on the topic patriotism. The progress of our nation rests upon the shoulders of every youth. What is your intention to this nation? Are you willing to serve the motherland with integrity and dignity? Or are you interested in inflating the maximum exploitation for one own selfish gain? Look, fellow youths, there should be no boundaries in actualizing the highest law for our country once we are called to service. The biggest problem facing our country is not the lack of good laws. It is not the lack of resources, not the lack of educated men or women, but the lack of law for country. I want you to know this, fellow compatriots. Where there is no love, there is lack of progress. The motherland depends not on herself, but you and I to make it a better place for generations to come. Everyone has a role in this process, ranging from the common man to the nobleman. It is time we examine ourselves. It is time we put our country first above everything else. Other nations are moving forward, but as one of the oldest independent nations in Africa, where is our achievement? We help in the liberation process of other nations. These nations are moving forward, while our nation is stagnated from all expressions of reality. Or because patriotism has been neglected at the highest goal in our society. Liberia is a blessed nation, given to us by God. But we will not realize these blessings if we do not cherish this nation. Fellow youth, it is time to change the course of history. You have the power, and that power is your choice. To choose if you will be loyal to this country through your services. Never give up on the motherland. I believe Liberia will someday rise above nations. The only road to this revelation is love. Love is all Liberia needs from us, and it will start to flourish in progress. Long live the motherland.
How you doing, gentlemen?
What do you know of today's ruling?
Well, today's ruling, we know that the judge has ascribed unto himself an authority that he doesn't have. When specific provisions of the Constitution are raised as subject matter of discussion in a trial, a court of limited jurisdiction, specifically a trial court, does not have the authority to interpret the Constitution. That authority is ascribed to the full bench of the Honorable Supreme Court. To date, the judge had indeed agreed that the former officials of government are immune from any criminal prosecution or judicial inquiry for acts committed or acts carried out while serving as members and statutory members of the National Security Council and principal advisors and agents of the presidency. That immunity of the president that extends to the advisors of the president and the agent, that immunity can never be subjected to judicial review in a court of law. The courts shall refrain from conducting inquiry on the basis that any attempt will compromise national security. In fact, it's on the other way around. While we should be protecting the protection of national secrecy, I see the government proceeding to expose national security operations, especially about expenditure during elections to keep this country safe from threats to the elections.
Also, if you agree that the judge ruled against you, if you agreed that the judge in his ruling admitted that it was right for them, why did he rule against you and then he took an exception to the Supreme Court?
Is that with the wisdom of the judge? The next thing is the defendants, the former ministers of the former officials of government cannot stand trial. Why? Under the due process clause that we have in fact our cases like the Wallow versus Wallow, the landmark case on due process, before you are convicted, you have the right to question the witnesses, to produce evidence in your favor in order to exonerate yourself. These officials are prohibited by law not to defend themselves. And what is the law? The National Security and Reform Act, Intelligence Act of 2011 says, as long as they are alive until 20 years, even if they go for trial and they take the witness and to testify about how they expended the money, when they come outside, the NSA will arrest them also because they have breached national security intelligence operations. That's why you take up on the level at the level of the National Security Council.
So in short, Council, are you saying that the judge erred in his ruling against you people?
The judge erred. And in fact, the ruling went beyond the scope of authority of the court.
Meaning that you are taking flight to the Supreme Court for your account?
Well, the team will discuss that. But what we know is that the law already gives us the authority to go on the remedial process when the judge had made a decision, especially on the issue of authority, that he had gone beyond his authority. The judge, the trial court, has no authority. And that is a standard established by the Honorable Supreme Court by years of horror with age, that whenever constitutional issues are squarely raised, no court of law has the authority to determine and pass unconstitutional arguments beside the full bench of the Supreme Court.
The judge did quote Article 51 of the 1986 Constitution as it relates to people being immune and exempted.
Under Article 61 that talks about
51.
immunity of the president.
61.
No, it's 61. It's 61.
And not 51.
It's not 51, it's 61. Under Article 61 of the Constitution, the president is immune from all prosecutions. The only time the president is not immune from prosecution, it must be certified by condition precedent. What are those conditions precedents? The condition precedents are the president must first be impeached and removed. Any leader in this country who has never been impeached and removed, every act or acts that he conducted or carried out or he assigned to his agents while serving as president, that extension of immunity covers them, and you cannot question those agents. This is the argument before the Supreme Court that will soon be appearing. Whether or not an agent or an advisor of the president serving at the level of the National Security Council, which they are creating the National Security Council, prohibits him, that you cannot take the stand to testify on national security matters that have not been declassified. As we speak, the expenditure of the former government to maintain a peaceful transition, to divert and abort the threat to national security in the elections of 2023, the government presently had never declassified that information. Any of these officials who comes to court and to testify how that money was expended, who the agent that received it, and what area they assigned the agents for what purpose, they will go to jail. So you see the dilemma that our clients have. So we are saying this is a serious landmark argument. The first time that will be appearing before the court or the Supreme Court for the court to determine whether agents and advisors of the National Security Council who operated under the ambit of authority of the president can be subjected to judicial review. No money was stolen here. Thank you.
Here from Liberia. I have my Bible in my hands, and this is the Word of God. That's why I'm coming to it.
Why are you speaking against the amendment?
I'm speaking against the amendment because we do not have another Bible apart from this Bible. So we cannot have the two options that the amendment offers to us. And so I vote against the amendment. That's the reason why I'm trying to explain.
Okay.
Yes, that this Bible, 2 Timothy 3:16 says, all scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, reproof, correction, and instruction in righteousness. When it comes to the issue of homosexuality, the Bible is very emphatic that we have marriage between a man and a woman, and that's what our current book of discipline holds. For the past 52 years, every attempt has been made to alter that biblical truth. Today, we have a majority general conference characterized by liberals and progressives who are doing everything to change the Bible to something else. Because of that, I vote against this amendment. Thank you very much. Here from Liberia. I have my Bible in my hands, and this is the Word of God. That's why I'm coming to it.
Why are you speaking against the amendment?
I'm speaking against the amendment because we do not have another Bible apart from this Bible. So we cannot have the two options that the amendment offers to us. And so I vote against the amendment. That's the reason why I'm trying to explain.
Okay.
Yes, that this Bible, 2 Timothy 3:16 says, all scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, reproof, correction, and instruction in righteousness. When it comes to the issue of homosexuality, the Bible is very emphatic that we have marriage between a man and a woman, and that's what our current book of discipline holds. For the past 52 years, every attempt has been made to alter that biblical truth. Today, we have a majority general conference characterized by liberals and progressives who are doing everything to change the Bible to something else. Because of that, I vote against this amendment. Thank you very much.
So, folks, welcome back. This is Wake Up Call on Blaze Radio 90.7. It's good to be here this morning on this wonderful edition. Today is Wednesday. What are we looking at today? Today is Thursday. And what are we going to be looking at? Yesterday, the former President of the Republic of Liberia, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, spoke. She spoke at a program, at the program marking the Summit for Democracy and Political Accountability. So, Madam Sirleaf, the former president, very strongly criticized the country's security forces, the security forces of the country, that is the police, the immigration, the DEA, the AFL, all that make up the joint security. So the former president has criticized the security forces, the legislature, and the Supreme Court, warning that their actions are undermining democracy and public trust. So, former President Sirleaf, and we will also be talking about the Embattled House Speaker Fonanti Kofa appearance at the police headquarters yesterday. We will be talking about that this morning on the show. So it's good to have you, and it's good to have you listen. Yesterday we talked about the arson attack according to police on the Capitol building, and we gave you the report as the retired American firefighters term it as incendiary. That it was caused by someone, and we said that the report does not in any way contradict the president's statement upon the very day the incident took place. And we also said yesterday that the report is no different from the Gregory Coleman police report that was made initially. And so these things we spoke of yesterday. And we also talked about other issues here on the platform, the positions of people in government from Lofa County. We talked about that yesterday. And some citizens of District Number 10 who are also calling for the peaceful resignation of Representative Yeke Koluba, or faced forceful impeachment. That is, they are willing to collect their signatures, take that to the legislature, so that Representative Koluba can be impeached. According to them, he has failed to set up the leadership structure in the district. He has failed. In fact, he's absent in the district. He's not focusing on his oversight responsibility, advocacies, and lawmaking, but rather, involved with confusion at the Capitol. So those are reasons for which they feel that their representatives should be impeached or resign peacefully. So we talked about that yesterday, and this morning we will be looking at a statement from the former president and that of the embattled Speaker Kofa. So if you want to be a sponsor to this program, Wake up call starts from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. every working days, from Mondays to Fridays. And if you want to be a sponsor, you can contact our numbers 077-807-5616 or 08857-7750, and you can be a sponsor like the Sina Group Limited that is our sponsor. You understand? Thank you for following Aman. Thank you for following, and you can share the live. So we're always here to discuss national issues that confront Mama Liberia. Our aims are to bring the happenings to the attention of the public. So before we just go on to our talking point this morning, the House of Legislature in its past section on Tuesday invited the authorities of the Methodist Church to appear before the plenary in a joint committee section, excuse me, where they will be questioning them as to what is the reason, what is the motive behind the regionalization policy that calls for the right of any LGBTQ plus member taking on the pulpit, for which has sparked out confusion among the church members. So the legislature feels that this stance is not a better one for Liberia. So the lawmakers have to intervene to see how they can make their way in resolving these matters. But again, the actions of the Methodist Church has sparked out serious questions on the credibility, on the trust of the public in the church. As Christians, we feel that these things should not be happening among members of the church. This is what the Bible says at the end time. Because if you can remember the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, this is why God sent down his wrath upon people of that city. What is the essence of regionalization policy? What is the essence of giving the pulpit to a gay man or a lesbian woman or a cross or transdresser or gender? This is not necessary. So there is a need that the church will come to herself to bring peace. Now they are in court. They have gone to court. The UMC have taken some leaders of the Global Methodist Church to court for criminal transparency, criminal mischief, theft, and there are so many crimes instilled in their charges. So members of the church already going against one another. So it's also pathetic. It's pathetic. And the former finance minister, Samuel Toe, case has been, the guys have pleaded to go to Supreme Court. So the former finance minister Samuel Toe and 4 co-defendants have petitioned Liberia's Supreme Court for the writ of prohibition seeking to block criminal court C. George Roosevelt Wele from presiding over their high-profile corruption trial. The move comes just hours before jury selection was set to resume in Monrovia. And like we said, the juries, those juries were denied. Only one was accepted. And so, Toy and his guys are expressing lack of confidence now in the judge of criminal Kosi, Josh Wele. So they are seeking for a writ of prohibition against him. But it's also much, devastating that government will not be speeding investigation of such to tell the Liberian people whether or not those guys are convicted so that they can face the rule of law. Because if you steal allegedly from the state and it's validated, you need to face the full weight of the law. It is the Liberian people money. They need to know what is the outcome of that case. So keep glued. Like we said, this program is sponsored by the Sina Group. We will take this short break from Sina. We'll come back. We'll begin with our point of focus this morning. Let's take this break from the Sina Group Limited.
Hey, have you heard of Sinan Group Limited? Well, Sinan Group Limited is a reliable and efficient water drilling expert. Sinan Group Limited specializes in deep borehole drilling, pump installations, and water system maintenance to ensure you have access to clean and sustainable water anytime, anywhere. Services we offer include water well drilling and installation, site assessment and planning, detailed evaluation of potential drilling site. We carry out installation of well casings to prevent contamination, gravel packing to stabilize the well, and proper sealing to maintain water quality. We also conduct pump tests and other evaluations to determine the capacity and sustainability of the water source. We recommend and install appropriate pump systems such as submersible or jet pumps. We connect the pump to the overall water supply network, including storage and distribution systems. We also do scheduled maintenance and prompt repairs to ensure optimal performance and longevity of the pump system. We carry on inspection and evaluation of older or underperforming wells to identify issues such as casing damage.
That's not all. At the Sina Group Limited, we do systematic collection of water samples from various points in the supply system. Ensures compliance with health standards and confirms portability. We provide expert guidance on water supply system design, including optimal well placement, pump sizing, and integration with local infrastructure. The Sina Group Limited manages the full life cycle of water projects, from initial assessment and design to execution and post-installation support, ensuring projects are delivered on time and within the budget. With our cutting-edge technology, we utilize the most advanced drilling equipment. The Sina Group Limited trusted clients include UC, US Embassy, GRZ, and many more. Contact us today at our regional office near Zone 3 Police Station, Tottenham Boulevard, Congo Town, Liberia, or call us 0777 393 950 or 0888 701 391, or email us at info@sinagroupltd.com. Visit our website www.sinagroupltd.com.
Are you having problems with your car engine and looking for the repaired shop? Look no further. The Sinner Machining Solutions are here to solve all your problems. At Sinner Machining Solution, we specialize in comprehensive machine services. We do manual tuning, milling, fabrication and reconditioning of crankshaft, camshaft, and valve stems. We also do drilling, boring, and reaming. Our precision drilling of oiled galleries, coolant passages, mounting points, restoring worn passages in cylinder heads and engine blocks will keep your machine running smoothly. Sinner Machining Solution. Our shops are staffed with professionals. Our greening and service preparation, polishing, and smoothing will give your machine ultimate sealing and fit. But that is not all. Sinner Machining Solution has welders who will make your metal fabrication, repair cracks, and make custom brackets using the manual arc welding techniques. If the threads on your machines are damaged, do not worry. We create new threads, restore all damaged threads, and retip. We also do custom modification to suit the local operating condition, adjust fuel quality and ambient temperature. Once we have completed your job, we will inspect and measure the services using our precision instruments and implement a rigorous quality control process to ensure safety and performance standards. We are not letting you go just yet. We have to make sure your heating and surface hardening are taken care of.
Visit us near Zone 3 Police Station, Tottenham Boulevard, Concord Town. For more information, you can call us on +231 777 393 950 or +231 888 701 391. You can also send your email to info@sinangroup.com or www.sinangroupltd.com, all in small letters.
Come now and visit us. When you are satisfied, we are satisfied, and everyone goes home smiling.
So indeed, do business with us, and everyone will be smiling because Blaze Radio is committed to transacting business with you. Like we said, we will be talking about the Folanti Kofa appearance. We'll be talking about the Fonanti Kofa appearance at the police station yesterday. So Mr. Yun is also here. Let me welcome him before we can just uh, play that interview from Kofa yesterday. Uh, Good morning, Mr. Yun. It's good to have you.
Yeah, good morning, Achi. Good morning, my fellow. Are you getting me?
Yes, I'm getting you.
Yeah. Good morning, my fellow Liberians. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Okay. So Michael camera is off. I don't know. He's there, but his camera is off. So, like I said, the former president, Madam Seli, has also criticized the security of the state, the legislature of the state. She has criticized the judiciary system, and according to her, the recent attitude of state security forces and the judiciary, including the legislatures, has the proclivity to undermine the country's democracy. So we're going to be giving our thought on that statement. We will be giving our thought to that and subsequently allowing you to contribute as well. So, but let's listen to Fonanti Kofa. I want us to listen to Fonanti Kofa's statement he made. Fonanti said the questioning yesterday is not something he can choose. Yeah, he does not have that choice in the questioning yesterday because he feels that the process was not transparent. But I welcome Michael before we just play that statement. Michael, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Archie. Good morning, Mr. Yene. It's a good thing being here this morning. Good morning to our followers in Radio Land. We are happy to be back here to share breakfast with you this morning, wherever you are. We thank God that today is another wonderful day. Thank you.
So I'm loading the words of Kofa in here and to have it played so that the public can also listen to it, and we ourselves can make our thoughts. We can give our opinion on what he said. But he has expressed distrust in the police questioning because, according to him, the very firefighters, former firefighters who have come to begin to do investigation into the arson attack on the Capitol building, according to police report, are people who he do not trust, and they are all friends of the president, and so he do not see any credibility in their investigation. So, but I played this. Here is Kofa after he spent about 4 hours on the police questioning. Let's get this.
Some specific questions they asked you.
So how was the Honorable Kofa, how was the police process?
It was, I guess someone said it's 3 o'clock, so it was about 2 hours. Most of the questions they asked me about my employees after reach, they asked me about my comment on my Facebook page on the Alamo, things like that.
You said you don't trust the police.
But I have to agree myself. Once the police ask you interest, I think it's my duty as a citizen to what.
As a Liberian citizen, do you
as a speaker, as a speaker,
the speaker.
Of course, the speaker. I think it's unfortunate. I think the investigation has been haphazard. There were charges that were made against some firefighters were brought in from the states, not from mutual assistance or friends of the police. And they came and then they made up what I call
Honorable Speaker, let me know for what next did the police say to you following the investigation? Did they tell you a particular time they're going to get to you, or what next?
No. Their investigation continues.
As a matter of fact, what do you make of the latest police fire investigation from the investigator, sir? What do you make of the report last evening as revealed by the Spoon Network?
Well, I haven't seen the full details of the report, but the mere fact that somebody say cause of the fire is incendiary, I think the firefighters that came to do investigation were maybe at odds with the arson findings. I'm not sure what the process is leading to that. I haven't seen their full report. I'll be glad to comment further if I see what the full report.
Since your arrival this morning, Mr. Speaker, with the sound on your feed across, there have been mixed interpretation, even on the social media, some linking it to you being a part of a society or whatever. Do you care to explain the meaning of the cross on your forehead, sir?
For Catholics, today is Ash Wednesday, and so before I came here, I went to Ash Wednesday.
Honorable Kofa, you said all of the questions were not in line with the arson investigation. Can you elaborate a bit on that?
I don't know. I find the questions to be irrelevant, but I just don't know what it is.
If you were asked to do one of the 2 claims that have been made with respect to this situation, arson attack.
The last question, gentlemen.
Which one do you think?
No, I haven't had sufficient. I haven't done it. I'm not going to be like those who automatically announce what had happened, right? I don't know. I didn't do the investigation. The police and the fire, they say they conducted an investigation, but I have my own questions. But if they say there's arson or some group say incendiary, I would take that on face value. I have not done face value.
What are some of the questions you have?
What happened to the chairs at the Capitol building that did not go? Why was there fire at the building and the chairs did not go?
Finally, what do you look forward to, Honorable Speaker?
Who was at the building at midnight, the night before the fire? Who was the lawmaker that was there and has been identified but was not listed as a person of interest?
Was there a particular lawmaker that was there, sir?
He knew himself.
What do you look forward to following your appearance here, sir?
I look forward to them concluding the investigation and doing whatever they need to do as the investigators and the police.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen of the press.
So that was the voice of Embattled Speaker Fonati Kofa. Mr. Yene, you listen to him.
Yeah.
And we will allot like 30 minutes to this discussion. So if you just have to say something before I come in, if you want to.
Yeah, the speaker. For me, I got no problem with the investigation. So the president can bring whoever because he wants to know the cause. The person can be his friend. I got no problem. Although the speaker says he does not trust the person, it can be the president's friend or whoever. Whenever result comes out and you accuse somebody, they will go through the due process. So the only thing I got to say is let it be fairly done. But looking at that whole thing, if somebody might say it's a waste of time but that security work they're doing, maybe they got some sources, but looking at it, technically law is an exact science. You will not insinuate. You will not say something without proof. Yeah, you got to bring all the proof. There are so many faults over there. At the scene of the fire, this is a capital building, government building that needs protection. So this building never had fire alarm device. It never had the extinguisher, or you might call it sprinkler or whatever. It never had it. And it's supposed to have been there. So it never had it. There was no other device there that could allow people to come and see what time the fire started or how it went. But they are specifying time on the fire. So that alone gives ground to defense counsel for argument. And also, this building has security that is on government salary. It has securities who are on government salary. So those security, what become of them? What happened? They have far findings. Security men might have seen someone. Who did they see if they were around? But from the onset, we haven't heard anything about the securities that were on ground. So by you going to accuse other people, one may look at it to be a waste of time, because even a camera is not there. There's no video camera to that whole place to see the people were spotted coming around on Fonati. So whatever they might be operating on a day say. Yeah. You can even get somebody, you put watching their mouth, say, you must say that Fonati sent you, that Fonati gave you money to go. It's not enough. Law is an exact science. Yes. You can't insinuate. You can't accuse somebody falsely and you must prove beyond all doubt So there are so many lapses there. There are open grounds for defense counsel to build on and even pray on the Minister of Court for dismissal or to even win the case if they decide to go through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a point. So, we will get Michael to get his view as well. But, this is what, for me, I would like to see. Since this incident took place, there have been a lot of questions. There have been a lot of questions. Let me see. The CEO just sent something here. I want to see it.
I think better information.
Yeah. Please just read it behind the scene whether it is whether it's pertaining to the COFA.
Yeah, it pertaining to the COFA.
Okay. So represent okay, COFA, that's it. So there's the bill of information fight. So we'll look at it at a later time. Let me save this. We will look at it. But what I would like to say is that yes, like Mr. Yene said, and we all continue to say, it is good that the police do their job. They invite people for questioning. It is good that the police question whosoever they feel they can question. But let me get Michael. Michael, go ahead and make your point. And I want to be maybe the last person. You are muted.
Okay. I was trying to screen record this one as a leave something, but
Okay.
I don't
So you
know.
listen to
Well, we just
COFA and
coming few
you
minutes.
fought. You said?
So I tried to screen record it, man, as a leave thing to send to you, but they wanted to come into a few minutes. I said I was trying to
All
screen
right.
record it, man, as a leave stuff.
No
They said
problem. No
they-
problem.
But
No
then you
problem.
can go ahead and achieve. And when he comes down, you
No
just
problem. So like I was saying,
Yeah, come.
yeah, Michael will understand. So like I was saying, the police can invite anybody. The police
anybody.
has the right to invite anybody they see as person of interest. But I know people will have problem with me for what I'm about to say, which necessarily I don't care about. Why is the police only inviting one side of the device for questioning? This
Yeah.
is my question. Let me welcome Yangwei.
It's a
Yangwei
good
is here.
one there.
Why is the police only inviting one side of the device for questioning?
Achieve, let me get injection. Maybe they will come in later to invite Richard Kun too.
It has been closed since December. This happened
Yeah.
in January, and we are now in February.
Well, they
Why
invite
not do this?
Funati Kofa.
You listen to Kofa. Kofa said there was, though he did not call the name, but there was a particular lawmaker at the Capitol building at that hour. Well, let me welcome the CEO. Good morning, Chief.
You are muted, CEO.
I always muted. I forget. Thank you very much. And I ran over here to come because I wanted to be part of the discussion. So I'm glad to be here.
Okay. So you followed the Kofa activity yesterday, even though we just play his statement from right after his questioning, his interview with the journalist. We just play it, and I don't know if you get that or you want us to replay.
No, I was driving. I didn't listen to it.
Okay. So let me just play.
I mean, yeah, you can do me. You can help me out. Sorry, guys, for taking so long.
Some specific questions they asked you, sir.
So how was the Honorable Kofa, how was the police probe, sir?
Oh, it was, I guess someone said it's 3 o'clock, so it was about 2 hours. Most of the questions they asked me about my employees that I know, they have arrested and told Dr. Reach. They asked me about my comment on my Facebook page of the Alamo, things like that.
You say you don't trust the process, but you agree yourself.
But I have to agree myself. Once the police ask you investigate interest, I think it's not too serious to what
as a Liberian citizen, do you regret that
as a speaker, of course, as a speaker. As a speaker, the speaker. Of course, the speaker. I think it's unfortunate. I think the investigation has been haphazard. There were charges that were made, and then some firefighters were brought in from the states, not from mutual assistance, but friends of the police, and they came, and then they made up what I call
Honorable Speaker, let me know for what next did the police say to you following the investigation? Did they tell you a particular time they're going to get to you, or what next?
No. Their investigation continues.
As a matter of fact, what do you make of the latest police fire investigation from the investigator, sir? What do you make of the report last evening as revealed by the Spoon Network?
Well, I haven't seen the full details of the report, but the mere fact that somebody say cause of the fire is incendiary, I think the firefighters that came to do investigation were maybe at odds with the arson findings. I'm not sure what the process is in leading to that. I haven't seen their full report. I'll be glad to comment further if I see what the full.
Since your arrival this morning, Honorable Speaker, with the sound on your faded cross, there have been mixed interpretation, even on the social media. Some linking it to you being a part of a society or whatever. Do you care to explain the meaning of the cross on your forehead, sir?
For Catholics, today is Ash Wednesday, and so before I came here, I went to Ash Wednesday.
Honorable Kofa, you said all of the questions were not in line with the arson investigation. Can you elaborate a bit on that?
I don't know. I find the questions to be irrelevant, but I just don't know where they're going.
If you were asked to do one of the two claims that have been made with respect to this situation, arson and
the last question, gentlemen.
Which one do you think?
No, I haven't had sufficient. I haven't done it. I'm not going to be like those who automatically announce what had happened, right? I don't know. I didn't do the investigation. The police on the fire, they said they conducted an investigation, but I have my own questions. But if they say there's arson or some group say incendiary, I would take that on face value. I have not done face value.
What are some of the questions you have?
What happened to the chairs at the Capitol building that did not burn? Why was there fire at the building and the chairs did not burn?
Finally, what do you look forward to, Honorable Speaker?
Who was at the building at midnight, the night before the fire? Who was the lawmaker that was there and has been identified but was not listed as a person of interest?
Was there a particular lawmaker that was there, sir?
He knew himself.
What do you look forward to following your appearance here, sir?
I look forward to them concluding the investigation and doing whatever they need to do as the investigators and the police.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen of the press.
So that was Kofa right there after he came from a 4-hour questioning and spoke to the media. And you listen to he asked few questions. What happened to the chairs at the Capitol building that did not burn? The speaker's chairs. Who is that lawmaker that the police is aware of that was at the building midnight but did not invite them for questioning? So I think that was some of my point, and I still reserve them to make later on. So go ahead, CEO.
Actually, those are the breaking news. If I were an editor and that whole story came before me, everything that happened is not a breaking news. The breaking news there is Kofa revealed that there was a lawmaker
at the Capitol on the night of the fire. So that is the story. Now, Kofa is under responsibility to tell us further who that lawmaker is. It is his responsibility to do that. He's under responsibility to tell us. But we have to push that story because he is telling us something new that we never heard before. We never heard that. I never heard that. So is the police interested? Now that the story has come out, is the police interested in going after or even asking Kofa who was that lawmaker who was present and going to invite that person? If you were there midnight before the morning of the fire incident, why were you doing that? Why were you doing that? You are a person of interest as well. So basically, I think they are asking him all about the Alamo. Are you kidding me? For real?
His Facebook post, I posted the Alamo.
Are you kidding me? Somebody wrote on Facebook and talk about Alamo. The story of the Alamo with the Mexican. So are you trying to say because he said Alamo, so he sent the people to burn? And he raised an important question. He raised doubt on the fire report. He raised doubt on the fire report, and that is a key point. And he said he has his questions. He didn't tell us what his questions are. I think Kofa knows more than what he has spoken to. I think if we do an exclusive interview, we will hear more from Kofa, taking our time to go through the question one by one.
Hope we can initiate that.
Yeah, I called him when he was in the States here. He told me to set up an interview, and that interview, he wants to do the interview with Summercast on different radio stations, and I have not been able to get everybody together. I called Julius Jen and called other guys to see if we can Summercast it. He doesn't want it to be on Spoon. He want me to organize it. So I got a recording between he and myself as well. So to be honest, Kofa knows more than what we know. And I think because he knows more than what he knows, there may be the possibility the police may not do anything to him at all. Because you know what that means? If you press Kofa and he begins to vomit all of the things that he knows, and the police is going to be embarrassed. That why all this time that you have not gone after these people? Why? Why have you not gone after these people? Why have you not invited them? Why you continue to invite one side of the divide? Why invite the other side? Why not invite the other side? Why not hold the other side as person of interest? Why have you not investigated your officer who were there to protect the place? How many officers are on the investigation? How many Capitol building security people are on the investigation? Who is that lawmaker that Kofa is talking about that was there the midnight before the burning of the Capitol in our money? What happened to the chairs that were at the Capitol? Why were they removed? How did they remove them? So those are questions. Look, Kofa knows more than we can imagine, and as we go along, he will diverge some of these pieces of information, and we will be shocked to know some of the information that will come out of him. But he knows more, definitely, and I believe the police is treading on slippery ground, because if the police is not careful, when Kofa begins to spill information as he knows them, there will be more doubt cast on the attitude or the conduct of the police than what we now suggest it to be. I think that's the only way I can describe it at this point. Otherwise, the police can invite anybody they want to invite. That's investigation. That's security. They want to invite the speaker? Go ahead. You want to invite Joseph Boakai? Go ahead. But like yesterday we talked about, how come the first day of the fire, the morning of the fire, Joseph Boakai came and said that awesome. Without first investigating, Greg Bishop said that awesome. After their investigation, Gregory Thomas said that arson. They sent for Joseph Boyka's friend, and the Joseph Boyka friend came with his friends and investigated, and they said that arson. Some incendiary items were used to burn the place. And the event, they said it was fast, it was rapid. How did they know the rapidity of that? That's what I don't know. Because they were not here. The thing started burning small, 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 small until because the fire service could not put the fire up. So it kept burning until it became big. So how did they know the rapidity of the fire? I don't even know of that. But look, we got more questions. This thing had more questions than answer. Oh, why the man current go? Okay, guys. So the man current go. I'll take over. So so we'll make a transition from there. But you guys want to make additional comment on that before we make a transition?
Michael has not spoken yet.
Okay, okay, Michael. Michael, you want to come on? Michael, you are muted, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we can hear you now.
Also, the program continues
The
online.
program continues, yeah. The program continues. I'm monitoring it from here. It continues. It's still live. Let me look at it very well. Let me make sure we are live.
LEC people.
Yeah, we are live. It will come on.
So,
We got a standby there, but I don't know why it didn't pick up. We got a UPS that are supposed to pick up, but it didn't pick up. So the people on the radio will not hear us, but the social media will follow us, both Facebook and YouTube.
yeah, so there is nothing completely different from what everybody has been thinking concerning the entire case. All the predations of the opposition, all the predations of the ordinary people, they're just getting everything right.
Right.
I everyone predated at some point they were targeting Speaker Kofa because he was not giving in at all for the
Right.
resignation pressure. So they were doing everything they could have done to get him down. But I think Liberia is not ending today. Liberia is not going to end in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Most of those who are doing the things they are doing, I don't know what why are they really depending on what else? Because to really think that when you do all these things deliberately, there are some things the exposure, the politics of the country is having to social media now. We
Mm-hmm.
never had it in previous governments. We are down to some extent, yes, but the exposure is getting wider by the day. Now, every case now, and it is being highlighted to some setting large to a larger extent, on social media and all of that. It has not been like that in the past. So I think this is a time to be more cautious of what we do. This is a time to be more cautious of how we relate to most of the things we relate to concerning the governance issue in our country. But I think it doesn't seem like any problem to these guys. People are just deliberately doing what they are doing. I don't know they are caught in the web of that thinking straight. They have believe that oh they will be in power forever or something will happen. I don't know. Sometimes sometimes the feeling is there when you are there. You feel like you are in authority. You seem not to see clearly. It's like a web that you are caught in. It takes few people who are very smart, far-sighted, open-minded to know. Yeah,
Right.
some of
Right.
those people may have had some experiences in past government and they saw how things ended. Those are people who are very careful in doing some of these things. But most of these guys, they are behaving like something. You either see the guy acting very angry or acting very unreasonable. There's something that's not just right about how they are doing things. And unlike before, now everything is recorded. The entire speakership saga for the legislature, Everything was detailed on social media. The public had their opinion on issues. The public had their predictions on issues, and most of the predictions came true. How on earth you say, "Oh, capital building going," yeah, Jomo, you assume one group of people.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense whatsoever. The president came, the presidency hooligans, and then
Yeah.
his group of people started to do everything possible to prove the president right on hooliganism, or they are moving around trying to grab the hooligans, and that's how it
And
is.
even more interestingly, after the president made that statement, a friend of the president who attended the president inauguration is the same friend who they brought to validate whatever the president had said. I don't know. I don't know how they can do a thing like this.
Yeah,
So
they're just trying to justify their point to continue the witch hunt. Nothing else.
correct,
Maybe they think the society is gullible to think that when someone comes to America or he has different color skin, you will see the people are independent. What justify? You can't determine somebody is independent because you feel like come from America. There should be criteria. I mean, the vetting should be done by an independent body. You should have talked with somebody, partners to bring somebody, some group that has no political attachment. Now,
right,
somebody that has some attachment to you, they call you friend. You obviously can you paying them in the first place, and like when during the last regime when there was some controversy with governance issue, when you say intervened, you say brought in crew, you say paid crew, and it did their investigation. Hey, government never had total control. Government sponsored their own investigation on the other side. But the one that was done with Curry was internationally done, and everybody had access to the report. So I mean, as it is, well,
all
now
right. We,
it's
we
the
got a trending news today. We got two trending news today, which is one is Kofa, and the same Kofa is trending in two ways. Um, the bill of information that he filed recently that was difficult to get it taken up by the Supreme Court. Remember, just to tell our viewers, um, the Supreme Court doesn't have to take any case if they don't want to take the case. They have the right to reject any case. So when the Justice Minister interpreted the Supreme Court ruling, Kofa believed that it was misinterpreted, and because of the misinterpretation, the majority black was still violating the ruling of the Supreme Court. And so Kofa filed a writ of a bill of information. And in that bill of information, Kofa requested for three things. One, that he wanted the Supreme Court to note the misinterpretation, to tell the Justice Minister that he misinterpreted their ruling. And two, that the people are still violating the rights, the rules, the ruling of the Supreme Court, and still behaving in the same ultra-virus way that they are behaving. And he wanted the third one is for the Supreme Court to return to the Capitol building or the House of Representatives to status quo. I want to share something here very quickly. I don't know if I can do that. I believe I can. Uh, I believe I can do that. So let me share that quickly and see if I'm able to share that. We don't have Archie today. Okay,
he said he
so
will soon add us back. He just called. So they are trying
yeah,
to.
I can't share it from my end because it says you're sharing screen without sharing your system sound. Okay, no, I'm not talking about this one. I want to share the screen that I have. I don't know. You can see it, sir? You can see it. I don't think you can see it.
It's not on the big screen here.
We're seeing it
Yeah,
right
because I'm not in the army position. He's in my army position, so I can't share the screen. But I will read it. Nothing short of that. We can't give up. Let me read what is it. I'm not going to read the word for word, but the Supreme Court finally accepted to hear the case the bill of information that was filed by Speaker J. Fanati Kofa and members of the House of Representatives of the 55th Legislature, considered as the informant versus Representative Richie N. Kuhn, purported Speaker of the House of Representatives of the 55th Legislature, Representative Thomas Fala, Deputy Speaker of the House, members of the self-styled majority bloc of the government of Liberia, represented by Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia as respondent, and it said Republic of Liberia, Brigadier General Amos B. Kessett Dixon, Senior Marshal, Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia. Greetings. You are hereby commanded to notify the respondent meaning Richard Kuhn and others, in the above entitled cause of action to appear and file their returns before the full bench of the Honorable Supreme Court of Liberia, Temple of Justice, on Monday, March the 14th, at the hour of 9 a.m. to show cause why the informants, Kofa and others, information as prayed for should not be granted. You are further commanded to instruct the respondent, that's Kuhn and others, herein to file their official returns to this rate in the office of the clerk of the House of Representatives of the Honorable Court on or before the 14th day of March, AD 2025, and to read to them the original and leave a copy of the rate with the respondent, that's Kuhn and others, and as to when and how you shall have served this rate, you will make known by filing an official returns on the back of the original copy of this rate in the office of the clerk of this honorable court on or before the 14th day of March, AD 2025. Basically, that is the mandate, the order of the not order, but the assignment. Okay, I think he come back. Let me share that. Let him put on the screen. You got it. You can take it from the chat room.
Yeah, I think yeah. I mean,
take it from the chat room.
It's actually unfortunate that we have to rush to change power, and before then we were already off. But we are back. Those of you just joining the radio, it's good to be back. We are sorry for that. You know, this is the country we have, and those are things we experience. So it's actually good. But let me share.
You got few to count on. You know, you got few to go for the rest of the night.
So good that I have lubricant.
Okay, so here is a rate for those of you on the social media. Here is a rate. I think I divided that into two. The two pieces, right? Yeah, it's a rate. This is the greeting section of the rate, the headline, the heading of the rate, and is Kofa against Kuhn and others. Let's see the other one. The other one is the body of the command to the sheriff, the marshal of the Supreme Court, to inform Richard Kuhn and others to respond to the bill of information. Now, here is the thing that I look at this rate before I bring you guys in. I want you to also know that this case will not be heard by the Chamber of Justice. Will not be heard by the Chamber of Justice. It will be heard by the full bench of the Supreme Court. So it is a big deal because the Supreme Court did not take it from the beginning. There's another one there. The Supreme Court did not take this case from the beginning. Yes, that is the one that we just read. Okay, the Supreme Court did not originally take this case. They were reluctant to take this case. Now they have taken the case. What does it mean to Kofa? What does it change any dynamics? Let me start from Lawrence. Why Archie set himself up?
Yeah, it means a lot. You know,
You
it's
can
good
take it
to
down now.
it's good to be patient and it's good to use the law. But see, you're looking at this rate. I think I don't know whether it would be necessary that the justice minister also be invited because the justice minister had gone ahead and interpreted the Supreme Court ruling falsely before. So
Yeah, but he will be questioned. He will be because he is a lawyer for the House of Representatives. If you look at the rate, it says it will be the Kun and order will be represented by the Minister of Justice and Attorney General. So they
uh,
are indirectly inviting him to come.
uh, yeah, so that's it. And that's what we used to say. COFA should just continue to remain in the confine of the law. You know, law takes time, but one day the justice will prevail. So
So what has gone wrong? Is it now that the executive they got something they understood about Kun and they are not feeling comfortable with him anymore for the fact that they are trying to use the Supreme Court now to get rid of him?
No, I mean, I think what is happening. You remember there was a rumor that the House, the majority black, wanted to impeach the Chief Justice.
Uh,
I think we talk about that here, and we talk about it, the unnecessity of trying to impeach the Chief Justice.
Yeah,
The
we
Chief
talk about
Justice, the Chief Justice got 5 more months or 6 more months to retire, and you want to impeach the president. Why you want to do it? Just to stamp your authority.
Oh yeah.
Now, all of this put together, it could have engineered the process of the justices. Okay, all right, I think we need to settle this once and for all. Maybe the chief justice want to make sure the clarity is made before she resign because she got 5 more months to resign. So probably
yes.
to convince the
So
police.
that's another point. But we need to understand in most instances the executive when these high profile cases are going on, the executive in most instances interfere with the judiciary. You see, for the Supreme Court to have come up with that ambiguous ruling, you have sensed that they were under pressure from the executive. You see, the people around the president,
What
people,
changed the mind? What
they
changed
were
the mind of the Supreme Court at
so
later time to
there
get to
was a
understand?
point. I saw a campaign against Rachel Kuhn recently from even Spoon, and his recording was being played. The recording that he had with Winston Bladdy in 2024 was being played. At some point of the recording, he said, "Oh, the man can go ahead to attack the president. He doesn't care. The most important thing when it comes to the legislature, he should do all he
It
can
should be
do to
protected.
balance the
Yeah, it should be
composition,
protected.
yeah, and all of that."
It was the
So
same wisdom for me. His men broke
they
when
broke
he was
the film and see most of the mistakes he has made over the period of time. He's ordering people to go and break in the speaker office. He's using drill to drill Yeke car. So there are a lot of things. I think the little short period he has brought a lot of public disrepute to the house and a reflection on the executive. So are they now trying to reconsider the decision for the fact to say, oh, this guy, maybe we thought, maybe we overrated him. Maybe what we thought of him is not, it is not what we are seeing. In fact, then, when it comes to the issue of handling money, and that's how things can go soft sometimes. Maybe the money they put in is care the way they expected him to go about doing things. His own colleagues, people that are with him, people that are fighting with him, some of them, as I learned, they are already having issues with him. So is the executive somewhat now feeling not too proud of this guy because this decision, no matter what the executive does, this decision is going to hunt them to the very end of this regime. If nothing is done about this thing, this decision will hunt them. You can talk about the rule of law when you arbitrarily took over the speakership without going through the process of law. I mean, the whole anti-corruption fight they're talking about, everybody will say that blah. They are just going to target certain people because they want to justify some political points. But in essence, it's a hypocritical fight. It is not rooted in integrity and truth. It's not rooted in honesty. It's just about the political flames, and that's just it. So I believe something has gone not too right if the Supreme Court, because The Supreme Court, for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe the Chief Justice was starting at some point for which she decided to say, oh, this whole thing we need to, because somebody, let me tell you, CEO, as when the case was about to happen, like a day for the case to happen, I spoke to a lawyer, he predicted what was going to happen.
Hmm.
Told me the Supreme Court will come up with a ruling that will not be clear.
Hmm.
Yeah, he told me, he says the Supreme Court is going to come up with a ruling that will not be clear. For whatever reason, they are under pressure, so they will yet do what they can do because, yeah, he just predicted like that. And when he said it, when it happened, I went back there and I said, yeah, I thought another day, then we're talking, I said, for all the only thing he told me, he said, every man has a price.
But
Hmm.
looking at the Supreme Court ruling,
And integrity with the system, and with all the things they are trying to emphasize, why the people delivering, yet told me every man has a price. I mean, so he wouldn't have, he was not explaining everything in detail, but at some point, the predictions he was saying and the way he was coming out with some of these things, you could draw a conclusion what happened.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
threatening, they were promised something was going to happen this way, something will happen that way. So at some point, because of the pressure, they didn't want to do it. But I see this as an affront to our democracy. I see this as a major problem. You see, even the former president, though we'll talk about it later, she
Yeah,
never
yeah, we'll talk about the current president. But let me go to before I give it back to Archie, let me go to Lauren. Let me ask you a specific question.
Mhm,
If we are just thinking ahead, we're thinking ahead.
mhm.
Since the Supreme Court made a decision that the activities of the majority group was ultra virus,
Mhm.
if the Supreme Court rules and say, in order to clarify our decision, whatever those calling themselves majority black did was illegal,
Mm.
how are they going to approach it? Are they going to now call Kofa in section to sit so they can go through the real process? Or do you think all lawmakers are going to break away from the majority group and John Kofa said Kofa has won? What do you think going to happen?
Okay, this is what I was just about to say, CEO. Although there was ambiguity in the Supreme Court ruling, but it
Right.
was not that much ambiguous of CEO. It was clear. Supreme Court further went by saying you don't have a speaker, you got a majority, and the speaker is present. When the
It's a, it became clear later when they themselves started interpreting it, but from the initial stage where everybody was claiming victory, it was never clear. You
yeah,
remember initially everybody was
Marco,
claiming
Marco,
victory?
Marco. Even as that, they had defense counsel that they're supposed to have consulted. But even the Supreme Court ruling, except after the explanation that was coming up, but the Supreme Court ruling was clear that when you run decision without speaker, except where the speaker is sick or out of the country, but the speaker is present, you go ahead, whether you get majority, you do anything, it's ultra virus. And then the Supreme Court said, you speaker, you don't have quorum. When you do anything, it's ultra virus. Therefore, CEO, coming to your question now, if the Supreme Court comes out now and reinterpret or interpret this whole thing and it be accepted to the whole body, that simply means the decision that have been made are all nullified, CEO. The law is law. The law remains to be the law. Law is an exact science. You can't bend anything. So whatever decision they are made, they are going about to make, are thereby nullified. So that wait and see. It, like Brian Citizen was set down for these people to be making fun out of us. That how Supreme Court come out with a ruling, the interpretation saying they say they were not understanding it, it was ambiguous for them. They would take the ambiguity from there, they would take all the viruses from there and make it simple now. This time around, there will be no virus. It will be direct to the point. So any other decision is notified.
So,
Mike,
yeah,
yeah,
before we
I think this time I'll put you in a guest seat, Archie. What do you think? What will happen if the Supreme Court says we meant ultravirus to indicate that the activities of the the majority black was illegal. They shouldn't have done what they have done. If they did that, how do we come back to the status quo?
The
Is
first
the
thing is
president willing, is the president willing to bend his ego and tell Richard Kuhn and say the Supreme Court has spoken? You guys should go back. It's the justice minister will do that because the Supreme Court will demand him to correct his mistake. But is Richard Kuhn and others, are they going to go on Speaker Kofa? Are they going to return his office? Are they going to return his vehicles? Are they going to return his security? What's going to happen?
the first thing when the Supreme Court does that, the Supreme Court will redeem itself. I do
Yes.
not trust the executive. I do not trust Bwaka's ability to make any straightforward decision like that. I do not trust him because I believe in my mind Bwaka is not completely in charge. That's what I believe. I believe at some point he does not really understand the implication of some of the things that he keeps, endorsing from his office. If he did, I believe he would have been very careful with the thing. You see, the old man is just caught up among people with a lot of thought pattern, people who are fighting to just promote their own interest. He's amongst them. So when day breaks, what he believes is the briefing that they gave him. Sometimes
They are all correct.
meeting to meeting from meeting, he has to go rest because of health problem. When he comes, the newspaper that favor what he needs to hear, the newspaper they bring to him, the briefing that he needs to understand, that's what they bring to him. He's caught up in a space. And the voices that he's hearing, the things they are telling him to do, those are the things that he hear from and he judges from. He has all the experience, but the more the person gets older, the more the person declines in his ability to come up with any judgment. You see, they got some grandparents, some great grandparents. See, the
Oh,
way they
yes.
reason, the grandchildren will be tricking them and be lying to them, and they fall for some of those lies because they are getting older. When you were younger, you were smarter, and you could detect something, you could detect some certain things easily. But the more older you become, especially when there are health problems, then the challenges become intense when it comes to making some decisions. Where he is now as a president, with his age being a factor, health factor is there, and being surrounded by all the hyenas who are bent on, trying to
The hyenas, the Liberian hyenas.
try to project their own interests is a major problem because he's making decisions basically from what he's hearing, the things he's fed with. Are these guys honest enough? Are they objective enough? Do we have someone in the corridor of the president that can disagree with the rest of the people to say this thing you are doing is not the right thing? Somebody the other day they wrote an open letter to Kofi Woods. They said, Kofi Woods, yesterday you stood up to Charles Taylor, you stood up to other people. Where is your voice? Why are you not saying some of these things that are happening? You
And
know
so,
for a fact things are. You know for a fact, I that's Yabakane. You know for a fact things things are going soft. You've been there. Why are you not doing anything? As the once upon a time vibrant voice, and you are silent. You're not doing anything. So
Okay, all right, okay, Michael. Before I go back, I want active voice on this thing here because I want to put in the guest seat. If you are listening to us, this is Wake Up Call, and we are on Facebook and YouTube. Go there if you want to watch the video. And those of you who are listening, thank you for listening. We are discussing the latest information that we have. Speaker Kofa recently filed a motion at the Supreme Court, a bill of information. It stayed too long, but the Supreme Court has finally taken it up and it's going to be heard at the full bench of the Supreme Court. The Richard Cohen groups are being invited to send in their response to the bill of information. Actually, let me come to you. Let me come to you, Archie.
yeah, so like you said, as the Supreme Court has lifted this bill of information, the other day was when the court sent the legislature, the majority block, the communication. Some of them raised the issue in section that they do not want to honor that. Yeah, some actually raised motions that they were not going to honor that invitation, but it was Michael Thomas, because Michael Thomas is the chair on judiciary.
Right.
Yeah, he was the one who talked to them and said, "Look, it is necessary that we send our legal representation to go there, listen to the bill of information, and then we can draw our conclusion." But here is the thing. To just begin with the COFA's statement, like I said earlier, there are a lot of things, something which I believe you have said some when I was running around. Those questions that COFA asks, there are questions that we have been asking from day one. You can remember the other day when I told you that on the scene show that why did the chair not burn? And the following day we saw it at the Morovia City Hall for
Yes.
section. And people were justified, oh, it was new chair they faced, it was this one they faced. Until then, James Colette has to come and tell the Labyrinth people that, look, this chair was kept in the archive. So then those who were defending that it was new chair now has nothing to say. Two, yesterday somebody called on the show and the person asked this question. Where were those security that were
Yes.
assigned at the Capitol building at that time, that the police cannot question them, be it the legislative security, be it the state police, because back then it was a day right after a protest, and the police stated that the legislative compound, the Capitol building, was under their control. So those police that were there, why are they not being questioned? And from my own analysis, like I said earlier, you
So,
have to.
actually, would you agree that if the kind of protests that happen, if the police were taking care of the capital, they would not allow people going in and out unless you have the business to do that?
Sure, and that's why the police was being assigned there, because
Yeah.
one, to prevent the random entries of people in that compound. You have
Right.
gunmen there. You have, even before the protesters could manage to enter there were tear gases being used during the day of
Yeah.
protest.
Yeah.
So what most about the time that protest is now over, some people have been arrested and it's late hour. So the police wouldn't allow anybody who does not have business to be done there to go there. That's one of the points. Two, how they call James Colette said when he was being interviewed, he said, I think we said this yesterday, they did not expect this to happen, for the fire to burn as it did.
Right.
So the question now could be, did you expect fire to burn, but not at that manner? That's
Right.
one of the questions. You have two parties involved, the minority and the majority. In fact, the area that is being burned is mostly being used. In fact, it's totally being used by the minority, the majority. And this, prior to the incident under discussion today, there have been an attempt. There was a fire attempt prior to that. Now the incident happened. After the incident, there have also been another fire attempt twice. So why only focus on one side of the device? Only one group you continue to invite for questioning. Don't you think Rachel Kuhn and his group should also be questioned?
And now to even interrupt Archie CEO, why would someone wait for day if they really had some bad intention to wait for day to break before they set the place on fire? The whole night.
Yeah, so that's
By,
the whole
by,
night.
by
Why were they?
9, 10, someone would have easily sneaked in
Right.
and just use whatever substance they had or whatever liquid they had to have just lighted the fire and go by the business. Why
So
did the person wait
for
Until
daylight.
6 in the morning.
because the fire started like in the morning hour, I think by 6.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
by
was already-
6.
Yeah. Why did the person wait for that time?
Let us actually to help us here. Actually, when you appear at a legislature, especially at the majority block, when you look at those lawmakers proceeding, I mean, what do you see in their faces? Do you see a confident group of lawmakers? Do you see people who think they are doing the right thing? Or do you see dejected people who are trying to save their face? What do you see? I don't want to put you in jail, but what do you see among them?
So, like you said, there are people who in their mind, they feel that they are doing what is right.
Mm-hmm.
In their mind, they feel that they are doing what is right, and that's why you see up to now there have been few people suspended. And some of the questions we always ask that why are they not suspending Yeke?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the question is that why are they not expelling Yeke from the parliament? Yeke has always said he would never recognize
Richard Kuhn.
Rachel Kuhn as speaker, and so therefore there is no point in time he will recognize him in section as speaker. They have always thrown him out of section, and Yeke will always go there and just make noise and leave the place because he feels that Rachel Kuhn is not the legitimate speaker. And by law, he's right. He's right. Now, you have the majority block section that is being chaired by Rachel Kuhn, writing to recall the ECOWAS representatives, Liberia's representative to the ECOWAS parliament. Right after their election, the very people they said they recalled went to ECOWAS meeting in Abuja. Right after the election, after they have elected new code of officers. But the very people they said they recalled went to ECOWAS parliament. It tells you that their leadership is not that strong. Though ECOWAS wrote them acknowledging the receipt of their communication, ECOWAS wrote them acknowledging the receipt of their communication, but it does not in any way tells you that the communication has been honored.
Right. No, they acknowledge them. They acknowledge their communication.
Yeah.
We receive your communication and we look at the matter.
We see what to do, yeah.
Yeah. But the people you say they must be removed, the people participated in the section.
Participated in the section. So it
and
tells
the other people who you want them to be replaced with, they also went there, but they did not allow them.
So you see the conflicting thing. So now, like I was saying earlier, why are you not questioning them? They too should be questioned. They should be also people of interest because they were using the property. It's possible they could do it to frame the other party bar. It's possible that they could not do it, but question them. Somebody's explanation could tell you that they are free or not. It's like we are here at the station, and as soon as I leave the studio, the announcer comes and something happens. He said, "No, Archie can do it, but let me call. They send you or the announcer in studio." No, I was there before the announcer could come there. So anything happen, I should be the first person question. Oh, but Archie, you are in studio. What happened to the camera? You are going live with the camera. What happened to the camera? Before the announcer could say, "Oh, SYZ." But you left there only the minority.
Let me ask this question here before I leave, before I turn it over to Archie. And this is going to all three of you. We start with Lawrence.
Yeah.
In 1832, the President of the United States of America, Andrew Jackson, refused to enforce the Supreme Court ruling on the case that involved Worcester, Massachusetts versus Georgia. And that decision, the decision of the Supreme Court ordering the president, was not executed. The president refused to execute the court order. Since then, it has not happened again. Do we see a situation where President Bouakai will refuse to execute the order of the Supreme Court if the Supreme Court said, Richard Kuhn, you and your guys are wrong, what you are doing is illegal? Is President Bouakai does he have the guts? Will he have the guts? Will he have the fortitude to tell Richard Kuhn, you are not speaker, Fanatic Kofa is the speaker, give Fanatic Kofa office back, give his cars back, give his security back, Fanatic Kofa go to your office, you all go to section and go honor his gavel. Is Joseph Bouakai going to do that? Let's start with Lawrence.
really looking at things, I don't think he's going to do that because they have already started uh, having some closed door discussion with Funanti. I think their first attempt in their lot, the vice president said it, that they went to meeting, they gave so many options to Funanti. But then there was another one there that they said they could not give to Funati. They said they cannot get a gamble to him again. But however, nobody is above the law. This law was made before the president was born. I think he's born, he's only over there to execute the law. The father, even the president can come and say the action is an action. That one alone, it implicates him along with the RG because such fire incident it can be caused by electrical fault and so many things. Why will you just come without investigation? You say that action. That somebody throwing a fire there. What kind of investigation you not do? You not ask somebody gave you hint on it. So I really I don't think I don't see the president
So
coming.
you don't think President Boakai, as president, when the Supreme Court rules and say you all return to status quo, which means you all go back to fanatic Kofa. You know this the president can say, look, the Supreme Court has ruled and we have to do exactly what the Supreme Court says. Kofa gave over, leave your office, you all go back to fanatic Kofa, give his vehicle back, give his security back, you all go honor his gavel. You don't think the president can do that?
CEO, I don't see it. This is the president who is noted for doing things beyond closed door. This is a president who took 300 and some more United States dollar, almost 400,000 United States dollar, just to get rid of Talu. How you call him?
Aloysius Talu, the
Aloysius
central
Talu.
bank governor.
Just to get to Aloysius Talu.
To beg him not to go to court.
To make him to beg him not to go to go to court. So the president is noted for doing all the crocodile things. So I don't see him coming up, playing the fact, obeying the law. I'm seeing him gathering all the people out of them, along with all the crew era to go back of Funati. Maybe the how you will end it up.
That's a breaking news. The President Boakai, is on Crocro G things. Let me go to Mago. Mago, you think the president?
It's a question of political will. Whether he has the political
Yes, he
will.
has the political will and not
Yeah,
do the
so
Crocro G thing.
all the theory, they will talk about the theory of fighting corruption, they will talk about the theory of inequality, talk about the theory of being truthful to the people. So when it comes to the political will to executing these things, and you see, one of the limitations of the Supreme Court is the fact that they do not have the enforcement power. The Supreme Court will make, like the case you mentioned, the Supreme Court did what it would have done, but
Yeah.
obviously their limitation was not to enforce the case. It is in the jurisdiction of the executive to enforce the law. So the Supreme Court did what it could do, and President Jackson went on with the thing, and there was a constitutional crisis. And
Yeah.
we've experienced similar thing now, and we have been experiencing similar thing. And this case will serve as a precedent for bad governance in the future. I mean, so which is not a very good thing, but I think it is an issue of political will. Does this president have the political will to execute certain things and impartially? That's the problem with the whole thing. A common example is the issue of the guy they called Doug Cooper at Ministry of Commerce as the Inspector General. Doug Cooper, he tried stealing a degree from the University of Liberia, and it has been all over the place. The University of Liberia has spoken that he attempted taking it from somebody who was there. He paid 10,000 United States dollars. All these facts were made bare. The LACC has never called Doug Cooper because he was recommended by the vice president. They got people, they closed their blind eye on things. When Representative Luther Collins went and presented $14,800 as evidence of bribery, the LACC did not do anything about it. So, does this president have the political will to do some of these things? That's why I was talking earlier. I say he's just caught up in a fix. He got a lot of hyenas around him, people who are feeding him what he should say. And at this point, his inability to make an independent decision is being questioned because I don't know if he has that on his own, whether he has that independence or he's just being fed with everything and he's being told what to say. Just remember during the date of the recent State of the Nation address, the EPS guy, maybe they told the EPS guy what to tell you. Say, you drink the water, you shake the hand, and go. If you follow that particular video. So the EPS guy now, he's telling the president what to do. The president is the president that should be leading the country. He is in the place, the seat projected as the smartest man on the face of the soil in Liberia, the most knowledgeable person. That's why the country trusted him in the first place, because the country believed that he has that ability to execute to the fullest. But imagine a police officer, the police, not police and the EPS officer, the EPS at some point in time, but he can be dictating to the president what to do, drink water.
He's not the protocol of the president. He's not
the protocol president. But besides that, what is surprising, I'm sorry for interrupting you, Baka is supposed to know better and say, no, hold on. And I want to do what I want to do. Okay, if you are listening, this is Blaze 90.7, and this is a wake-up call. I want to turn back over to the main host, Archie Bob Yini.
Okay. So it's good, CEO. Your question, to answer your question, and I will answer that with few questions. Whether the president can look at Rachel Kuhn and his team in their faces and tell them, look, your give Kofa his car, your let Kofa take his position, and you go back to status quo. Look, how could that be possible when it is the same president whose mandate took the car from Kofa? How could that be possible when it is the same president whose mandate took security from Kofa? How could that be possible when it is the same president's mandate that allowed Rachel Kuhn to be speaker and sign national budget after Supreme Court has ruled? When it is the same president's mandate that gives Rachel Kuhn the authority to organize the state of the nation of the president. So I don't see this possible. Even if the Supreme Court rules, like Marcus said, the Supreme Court does not have the authority to enforce. They will rule. They will say, oh, XYZ, yes. At the end, the executive will not do anything about that. I can challenge that. Even if the Chief Justice walked to the office of the president and gives him the ruling and every other judgment of the Supreme Court and say, Mr. President, this is the Supreme Court decision, the president will not still allow Rachel Kuhn to leave the speakership. So if you hear Rachel Kuhn say, I am the regime speaker, what do you think is he saying? Rachel Kuhn said he is the regime speaker. In less than 2 days, he broke a representative car. What has come from all of that?
Damage it.
You know, Archie, when you're talking, something came to my mind. Archie, when you're talking,
if the police was smart, they would have even called him for questioning too.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
If somebody from the minority black side, Gregory was going to call that person for questioning.
You know, coming back to my guest seat, to my panelist seat, now when you were talking, you put something in my mind. And now I have the chance now to speak too. Listen, if the Supreme Court rules that they should return to our status quo ante, that which means go back to Kofa and emphasize or reiterate that the majority black are doing what they are doing is illegal. One thing we should worry about is the budget.
That's the thing.
The approval of that budget will be declared illegal. Every action that particular body has taken.
And the copy of the approved budget has been distributed among lawmakers.
Yeah,
it was distributed last Tuesday. In fact, this
on
Tuesday.
Everything has been illegal. I mean, from the
Everything has been illegal. Because once the Supreme Court
has
ruled,
been handling the country illegally.
absolutely, everything that they have done, whether they approve people, whether they confirm anybody, whether they pass any law, anything that they have done will be legal because it was not done legally, so it's not done at all. It means they have to go back. Everything got to be reversed. They have to send out that budget back to Kofa. Whatever they have done.
The number of times they even talk to cook the budget CEO.
Oh my God! I don't know. I don't know.
This
is not a good. This is not a good taste.
CEO, you know,
This is not good.
One of my clergymen, I believe, in can say is impossible can. Impossible plus cannot. That means it cannot. In fact, it's not something that can happen.
That's what I say.
I mean, but to be honest, Michael, what will stop the president from reversing to the Supreme Court ruling? If the Supreme Court come out and say, we meant when we say ultravirus, we meant that what the majority black did was wrong.
But you just listen to what Famola said was a Lagos
three things will stop the president for me. And I think these three are interconnected. One is that his ego.
That's the thing.
His ego. Another is he doesn't have the political will
to do that.
And the other one is that he lacks the independence as a leader who should be in charge. So these things
the fourth one before Archie play what he want to play. The fourth one is there are a lot of hyenas.
Good.
Hyenas.
And that's thing to our people.
Everybody has some competing political interests they want to project.
But let's tell our people what hyenas mean. Because Michael, you brought that hyena. That thing you talk. If our people understand what you just said, that there are too many hyenas around the president. Hyenas are animals. They are predators. But they always walk in group. And they always scavenge. When you get your food, they come and hustle you and grumble you and take your food from you.
If you get in the food, they will eat you along with the food.
The hyenas
it's kind of minor, but it's a carnivore. It's a carnivore.
So hyenas have competing desire to take anything that they see for themselves. So when Michael said that there are too many hyenas around the president, it means there are too many people who have competing interests to take whatever they see
from the president. So
you will soon see Kofa bringing out resignation, because I know the vice president when they say black demon that him. So if it will even cause them to spend $2 million just to go to Kofa alone,
what they do to Kofa here?
He will get a paper.
They pay $2 million. My man, when they get Kofa $2 million, myself bro Kofa say, my man, give me
That's Supreme Court just come out without ruling. If they will cause them to do anything, they will do it.
Okay, my man. Oh wow, we in
30 minutes plus.
Yeah, we got 30 more minutes to go. Go ahead, play your tape that you wanted to play.
Yeah, for 1 minute, let me just say this. The reason the president will not also do that is that the president is in fear of impeachment. Because, mind you, those are the same quote-unquote majority that forcefully took the speakership. So the least mistake the president will make will start to make independent decisions against them. They turn against him. If you heard Rachel Kuhn said he doesn't care what a journalist say anything about the president or the executive. It's only the legislature he protects.
Actually, when the roll strong by when he catch it right-handed, he becomes weak and feeble. When the Supreme Court comes out with the decision is enforced by the executive. Most of these guys, you see, acting strong, they will get mute.
Okay.
So only depending on the power of the executive to be doing all the misbehavior they are carrying on.
So, but the executive also fear that they could go against them at any time. So that's the fear too.
I believe technically Speaker Kofa has gone through a lot. He may likely just resign. He may just want to make the point.
Don't think so, Michael. Don't think so. Michael, don't think so. If the Supreme Court rule, Kofa will want to prove himself.
Oh yeah,
He will want to get his office back, get his vehicles back, get his security back, get his gavel back, and even
That's
make
where the
sure
process will escalate.
it was escalate. Kofa may not just resign because he already
He
won.
could just do it. He just want to prove the point and resign. That would be
Well,
one.
that's what I think too. That's what I think too.
He wants to make right.
I thought it has passed that stage.
But I will tell Kofa when they get him $2 million. I'm a man.
$2 million. What you want proof? What are you
Any money
reserve?
for the government will be trapped. You can't trust this government on anything.
Okay, so this is the statement from
It
the
will
former
leak the
president.
information. Y'all have the agreement, and it will leak the information to the public.
This is the this is the
Intentionally,
former
because they
president.
want to paint
We
you
don't
as
have
somebody
time.
who is a fraud. Who say you are standing with the rule of law, but you're taking bribe from them.
I don't know whether we can still discuss the former president issue. We can keep it for tomorrow because no time.
Let's do it for tomorrow. We don't have time. We gotta take calls.
Yeah, so let me take calls for the 30 minutes.
We can play a video for you. You say you play a video.
No, like the former president's video I wanted to play for us to talk about.
Oh, okay.
We play it briefly. Let we hear what she said.
No, it will carry time. So already in 30 minutes, we just have 30 minutes here. So we can use 20 minutes for call. And let me get this first person on the line already. Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, Archie. Good morning, CEO. Good morning, Mr. Yinde. Good morning to Marco.
Welcome.
Thank you this morning for the exposé. I've been away since for the start this morning.
Okay.
Really appreciate you people for the talking point. And Archie, one of the callers said to you yesterday that there's a recording on the majority black rules and other things. The law has clarified to something. And with the issue of the chair, we keep saying it to you people then. That you should investigate the issue of the chair. How can a chair be out of the tumor where the law because have that session and then it will not burn? So you have to do your 5 and you call out for your radio station. You need to check thoroughly. And how can people come to investigate on a Saturday in the accent of other people who have been accused? They don't have no eyewitness there. Even they did it wrong with the very police that said it in charge of the baby. Even not respecting the security at the baby. So you have to really look into the thing. And I appreciate Speaker Kofa yesterday. We were there. We went to go see him because we know he is the original speaker. I will not say more. We'll answer the shout for you.
Thank you. 07779079070 07779079070 0887111107. This person. Good morning. Morning. I don't know. Okay, sorry. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
What is your name and where you call from?
My beef, speaking from Baptist Similar Carpentry Community.
1 minute.
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, our boss men then are in America, sitting in America. We live in Liberia here. We the one feeling the impact. So, you know, sitting, talking, all they want, and they may hear you right. They want all of us you right. So send a speech or speaker that the first time to speak or speaker in the country.
The process in which the speaker was being changed. This is not the first time it has happened. Even Sarah Lynn Ray get changed as speaker now.
Yeah, but then you know, sitting in America, nobody helping us in the country yet. I'm not backing. I'm not backing
Like when I want to make money when I tap people,
But when somebody, the majority say they not want you, just release yourself. Instead of resign. Okay. But you will not be saying that. You will not be saying that they want.
Thank you. 1 minute is exhausted. Good morning, Pascal. 1 minute.
Thank you, Mama. Plenty. You can sense exactly where he's from. So, okay. By their voice and tone, we can know. So, there's one thing that you people didn't talk about. Let me say to people like Michael and the CEO. The only reason why that Nigerians have now stood up yet is because they think the Supreme Court was not too clear. The only reason why those guys are still merry making It's because the ruling of the court was not so clear. If the court comes back and says to all of us that Mr. Kufa remains the legitimate speaker, Mr. Bwaka and Mr. all of them. So this thing will not, there's no need to sugarcoat. The reason why we now rise up is because the poll is not definite. In much it is definite, you will see the actions of the people. That's what I thought.
Good morning.
Well, good morning.
Morning. 1 minute. What is your name?
Well, my name is Prince Samuel, and I'm phoning from PJ Juba this morning.
Go ahead.
Well, I think the action of the Supreme Court to address people Kufa is welcoming. I think this is something that we've been looking forward to see over the past month. And I think they're not proceeding right to actually give bloody nose to the so-called majority group that for putting themselves as speaker and leader of our country. To the individual, look, to get power is not a thing, but getting all the right way, they have to do things the right way. The reason why we took that away from power was to come in and change everything, all the barriers of our society to change it. People should not go to radio and say, but whether it's first time or the last time. Thanks for the time this morning.
Thank you. Good morning, Nancy. Go ahead.
Good morning to everyone in the studio this morning. And someone was saying if the president will agree or the president will say this, the president is not about the law. If the law says that he has to go back, he has to go back. We get a parable in our diet that says that you can lead the law in your system environment with water, which is, it will not be worthy, but it is compulsory because let the rightful thing be done. So it can happen, it's possible.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning. What is your name? 1 minute.
Yeah. My name is Charles, and I just joined from Soul Clinic to the capital building, the burning of the capital building issue. I think this government should be serious because they are dealing with serious minor people that are no longer speaking. And then if you are judging your case, don't be a double standard because you have two parties that are very involved with this kind of lawsuit. Then you only having one. So I don't think that this government is rational to us.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
What is your name and where you call from? 1 minute.
Yeah, so the issue of the president agreeing to the Supreme Court, the reason why we just keep quiet because we want to be lawyer about it and we want to go to. But come up here, the Supreme Court rule the way we discussed it. Just like you bring the army out, you bring you for Gaza or for Israel. But we'll move on that district to that district. I'm not going to buy any job.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
What is your name and where you call from? 1 minute.
Okay, I'm Amos Glamour and I call you from Nigeria, Rubia. Yes. Liberia, we have law, we have rules, we have all of them. Liberia is now well structured when it comes to law. The reason why I'm saying this is because all of those things happening and then we're not saying no implementation. Someone the speaker, then you forcefully remove them. So all of these things happening and the high expectation people have for this president is not implementing it.
Okay.
On a serious note. So people just frustrated. We just seen people thought that he was a messiah to come and save this nation. People thought he was a savior to come and save everyone. He saying rescue, all this kind of thing. And we just have to be who we are and keep bringing us up because all of this thing happening, you will talk, generally will talk, other people with good idea will come and talk, they will say things and then it will not be implemented.
Thank you.
And the president will do anything he can do.
Okay.
So we just have to pray and look up to God as well because we know where we're heading. Thank you for the time. Thank you.
07790790788711107. The WhatsApp number +23188877750. The female line 778075616. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're very low. Go ahead. What is your name and where you call from? 1 minute. Go ahead.
I want to ask a question. Who is the people that
You low. You're very low.
I didn't do?
Yeah, that's why I say you low. You gotta increase your voice.
The people that who is there?
Who point there in which way? By what means?
Because you're just on the one man.
Yes, good morning.
What is your name and where you call from?
My name is Afra Wia, calling from the VOA community.
Okay, go ahead. 1 minute.
Let me say thanks to you and the panelists for your splendid explanation or elaboration on the issue. But here is it. President Joseph Yuma Boakai has promised to uphold the rule of law. The Supreme Court ruled, but the Supreme Court was that definite on its ruling. They say ultra-virus. So, as it stands now, James Fanatic Kufa went back to the Supreme Court. I think we should wait for the Supreme Court to rule and see the action of the president then before we start to talk. Another thing, people are saying when the Supreme Court rule, they will march on lawmaker. My brother, let me categorically state in this country for the record that we are, always in the need or always in the front of saying things that we can't do. We don't want to build what you call peace in the country. I bet you if the Supreme Court rule, you will not see nobody protesting because they are afraid of beating. On that note, thank you, man.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
Slow your radio.
Good morning.
Morning, go ahead.
Masegwa calling from Poro.
Okay.
You know, as I was sitting and get monitor here and listen to you, something came to my mind. A 3 or 4 person fight. This is a question I'm posing to you. And maybe, let's just say my wife and myself, right? Then my children join into that fight. And they were present, or the girls children joined there, and the boys children were just standing looking at us. So even when the police invade us, those boys and the girls, my children and they will not be invited at the police station to testify.
That's a question you're supposed to ask the police.
Because the reason why I'm asking this question, we have the Labrador National Police who were there for the fire incident. And we have the private security there. But none of them have been invited. This is a question I want to ask. Well, you people can answer it for me.
Okay, I'll be on the other side. I'm listening to the other side.
Good morning.
Morning, what is your name and where you call from?
My name is Real Light.
Okay, 1 minute, go ahead.
The thing about politics, people don't understand politics. Politics is, understand it today. Politics is when you can pull the trigger, then you are a politician.
Okay.
Politics, no one go in front and come back, get that play. If you watch this movie called Godfather, I want you to watch that movie. Then I want you to watch Scarface. Godfather by Al Pacino, Scarface by Al Pacino. I want you to watch that movie. It's a mafia movie. American Monster or Gangster. If you watch those movies, you will understand exactly what's going on. Okay. No politician. If you're a real true politician, I will give you an example. You see, Barney Sherman had no right to go back to the former president Ellis after they went through all our own battles. Then he went back. When he went back, he saw what happened to him. You saw it?
Good morning.
Yeah.
Morning, Bayoga. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the discussion this morning. You know, I don't want to know something. I want 2 questions. Before the protest, who was the last
person will leave for that for the Cathedral building.
The policemen slept there.
Policemen.
Police people
Okay.
slept there.
Okay. So for the whole thing, you may look at it. Somehow we would enjoy. But you ask people if it's a sound to your radio station, say, oh, by God, you mind yet to stay. And anything happen there, who the hold?
You the security and you be the first person who hold first.
Okay. Thank you, yeah. I got to see this. So let's give me a question.
Good morning.
Please put an online radio on here so I can be listening on the other side.
We can use the next 5 minutes to get calls for the next 5 minutes, and we will end up. Good morning. You are low. What is your name and where you call from? Please increase your voice. I don't know if your phone has problem. Go ahead.
Maybe you could text Achi. I don't think he's hearing us. I don't think he's hearing him.
We're not getting you 0779079070887111107 plus 231-888-577-7750. The WhatsApp number. Good morning.
Good morning.
What is your name and where you call from? 1 minute.
My name is Hakuya, and I'm calling from the Thinkers Philistine.
Go ahead.
Thank you for the discussion this morning. But you know what really come to my mind with Nigeria? We don't really understand or we never did civics in school. Sorry for my voice. I'm probably going to go. We never did civics in school. Even some of the journalists, they never did civics in school. So you people are contradicting politics. You must get to the balance issue and explain things sensitively, and Liberians will understand. Let me tell you something, brother. Liberia must move forward. We must move and not put things in impunity. That's still going in impunity. Let us as Liberia help Liberia. We should follow the rules of law.
So is the rule of law being followed?
Possibly removed as a speaker doesn't mean that riot or a forceful attitude should be carried on.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Morning, what is your name and where you call from? Okay, we lost this person. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
What is your name and where you call from?
This is Joseph C. We are calling from Dominga community.
Go ahead.
Yeah. All what happened to the Capitol building, those security that are there, they are responsible. They are aware of what happened over there.
Hello? Oh, God, we lost this person. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello?
Morning, what is your name and where you call from?
This is Kane M. Kane calling from Doville.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the issue of capital building, you people are not discussing it the way in which
that's why you
you're
have the
supposed
time.
to
So
discuss.
just discuss the what you're supposed to do.
Like what? Yeah. One, the brother who said, I will bring the place here. The place I will bring the John section. Emphasize on the over and over.
And the law said you can't hold that man for that because the man was in section. He said that you can't hold him for that. The man was coming from
You
where
were not in section, you were walking.
The law said when you come in or going.
The men were walking.
The law said when you come in or going to work, when you go, anything you say, they can't hold you for it.
Okay, how about the man who talk about the Alamo?
The man here posted. So what is the meaning of Alamo?
The man posted, but
the man posted say Alamo.
It was a mission as set in the. It was a mission as they buying the place at the time. I think in 1960 something. I forgot about the time, but that was a mission that went on in America. You people are aware, but I don't want to discuss it. And after that, I got posted out in the night. In the morning hour,
the police invited him yesterday. That's why the police invited him yesterday to explain why he made by Alamo.
So another one again, they see gangsters They went to the place there, they dismantled the place, they went, they sprayed the place. Why you people can't discuss the polity as the best way to people to discuss to understand it? You can only go and stop.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
What is your name and where you call from?
Yeah, this is Pascal calling from Sisyphus.
1 minute, go ahead.
Yeah, for me, I would like to say, if you listen to the entire investigation, that for me, I hold the police responsible.
Okay.
And the police, all the security guys that was there that night, they should be heard liable for every destruction that went on there. Thank you.
Thank you. That's great. This final person in. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
1 minute, you are a final caller.
Yeah, I'm calling from Panaro.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, I'm looking at the bill of information. When they come up with the information, that the president will be serious problem. Because the whole world will be looking at only us in the country. I mean, most of the lawmakers that left, they said because of the interpretation that the justice minister gave, so that 1 million they join the majority. So we are waiting.
Thank you. 30 seconds. What is your name? We can maintain you. Thank you for calling. Those of you who called. So let me get back to the team as we conclude quickly. So we have 2 minutes each to just conclude.
Well, I think I can take 1 minute and leave. It's interesting for people who we still need to provide education for our people. We really do need it. Because sometimes when I listen to some of the callers, I still know that we still have to provide education. Somebody talking about Alimo. How is it sufficient for you to say because Alimo, the man published Alimo, therefore he's the one that burned the place?
So if I was the one, for example, to post Alimo on my page, it means
if you're going to be putting, I don't know, they're going to go to Blaze FM and say, look for Archie and say, Archie, probably you the one burned the place. So the man who made a statement 5 months before the incident took place, he made a statement in May. The incident took place December 18. From May to December 18, the man made a statement on May, and the thing happened in December 18. So how is he connected? So after all these months, so it's just so sad to me that we're still not educated enough to discuss, to see for ourselves what we really need to see. But again, my brother, honestly, it is a breaking news. For me, I want to say Kofa needs to talk more. The lawmaker he was talking about, who was at the Capitol building, I'm interested in knowing that lawmaker. Because that's the breaking news.
So, do the story.
Yeah. And please, if you want to put the online radio on so I can listen.
It's on already.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay then, guys. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
Let's hear you, Mr. Yende.
Okay, thank you. Actually, it was a pleasure being here. As it relates to the bit of information, I think that was the other time I said it, that it was unprofessional for the vice president to just come up with the meeting they had with Kofa. The moment Stanton called him, just pick up phone, start talking. Because discussion sometimes, the first time it will not hold, there will be no understanding. Everybody will express themselves in anger and things. And discussion still needs to go on for another time until everybody consent. So I think they will still do it, because if they can take almost 400,000 to go to Aloysius Talu, what's the need? This case, in fact, the issue has gone far beyond now that they can't come up. To the extent that even some of the lawmakers causing the justice of Supreme Court. What in for the formula they were depending on causing justice of basic, the men are drunker, the men are liquor talk.
The men say when insert, the men say at the replay made a statement because insertion, so nothing will happen to him from there.
It has gone too far. It means even when it happens, all the decisions will be nullified. Any other decision those guys, those illegal group, lawbreakers have made, all those decisions will be nullified. So I don't think it will happen. Maybe as we speak, underground work going on. Okay, as it relates to the fire incident, we want for the law to take its course, but looking at it, there are so many disparities in that whole thing. One, this is place that got private security that have been paid fully with government taxpayer money. Where were they? What have been their funding? Who all they saw that night? If they saw somebody, why they never call for reinforcement?
Okay.
I mean, we just living there blind. What if somebody made remark before? They made remark.
Yeah.
Thomas.
We had our 4 more minutes to go.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Yene. Tomorrow you can come on, but we hope to also bring some of the students here. I don't know, Michael, you said you're going to reach out to some of them, but you can inbox me after the show. You can come on, but we also managed to bring some of the students. At later time, we'll discuss the issue of the former president before them, before we can bring them in, or bring them at first, but we'll handle that. Thank you.
Okay, so the issue is an issue of political decision, but it's an issue that borders also on the integrity and independence of the country, and how do we project ourselves out there that we know what we are doing back here. You see what happened on ECOWAS just recently. Liberia got on the agenda to be discussed. The decision from the parliament in Liberia was discussed at ECOWAS. And while they rejected the proposal from the House, when the other guy from, I think, Gambia was speaking, you heard what he said. He said there was a speaker that was legitimately elected, and there's another speaker that the executive is trying to impose on the people. Just imagine that's the perception the people have out there, and it's not good thing for our country, for the image of our country. That's why ECOWAS had to reject the decision from the so-called majority bloc. What are other regional bodies thinking about us? Why is the world at large thinking about us? All those diplomats you saw here, have you closely monitor people who work with them? Some of the people who are opportune to work in their circle, ask some of them what they say usually at times. I know somebody who work around some of the organizations, and they say the other sometimes you hear the people here feel like Boaga does not even know what he's doing. Some of those diplomats, from some of those missions in Liberia, people who we consider as international partners, as donors, with the things that are ongoing. You know, most of those people are politicians. You got to do international relations, you got to do politics before you go on some of those diplomatic missions. So they obviously understand what's happening in the country. And it's not just about the local perception that we have, but it's about internationally, regionally, how are people seeing us? So this decision, the president cannot do anything about it. It is on him, not on us. We are saying what we can say, our part is being played, and that's it. We wish you well.
I don't know why we are being crucified for our thoughts.
Yeah, we just sharing our thoughts. The other people are entitled to their opinion, by the way. Whatever they say, it is on there. It is not our fault for them to gather their own conclusion. Everybody is on there. This was a good thing. Until then, bye-bye from my end.
Okay. So, folks, you listen to Michael, and let me say this. The thing about, for the radio callers, I already understand you people. If I was attending the school to understand, I think I would have been a PhD holder by now. And for my radio listeners, for the past 8 to 9 years, we've been discussing issues on radio. This has always been the interaction. So the day is in your interest. You feel that we journalists are the heaven sent. But the day you feel that it is not what you agree to, that means we are the worst people ever. So we are not biful, neither bother with some of your statements being made. That's why we always give you the time. Some people always complain while I'm cutting you off. The reason I'm cutting you off is that when I say 1 minute, some people go 1 minute 10 seconds, 1 minute 30 seconds. So I have to cut you and give other people the chance. So that when you call, you have the opportunity to call, and we'll pick your call Forget about what you say and what you not say. Go to the point and say your own. I have no explanation for this, but I just have to tell you because I value you, my listeners. I value the time you take every morning to listen to us. That means you pay attention to this show. You pay attention to this station. And that's why we always have to explain some of these things to you. So I don't normally just cut people off. I allow even you causing me. The only thing don't cause that will go against the public. But talk to me anyhow you feel. I give you the time. That's why you put your minute in your phone to call. So thank you so much for joining us. Tomorrow is Friday. We'll be here for the weekend edition. And my name is Archie C. Bob Yene. Been here of our panelist. And the program is Wake Up Call. Have yourself a wonderful day. And remember, don't trouble before trouble troubles you. That's how we like to conclude today's edition of the program.